Welcome to the Mindset Recruiting Podcast. I'm Alex Rojas, your talent advisor and host. And in today's episode, it's all about recruiting with ChatGPT. That's right. I'm going to show you how to develop 10 advanced prompt workflows into your recruiting desk. All right, let's keep things moving along. We're here at the 6th prompt. This is a theme that I want to go ahead and make sure that you understand here. We're going through a workflow. We start off with the job description. We're taking it cradle to grave. So the next theme, the prompt that you're going to initiate with ChatGPT is all about candidate submittals. And more specifically, it's about job matching resumes to that job description. So this is important because if you have a candidate, you have a resume, you have now screened a candidate, you have screening notes, you have a resume, you grab that and you say, I want ChatGPT to go ahead and create a candidate submittal to a hiring manager, and I want you to summarize or give me a synopsis on why this candidate is a good match with the job description. And I would even take it a step further and be able to go ahead and create sort of these, the framework as far as how you submit your candidates to the hiring managers. So this is really good. This is a really good, simple one, but it's one that I think can help you kind of structure so that you're not, a lot of times recruiters get lazy when it comes to candidate submittals. They send over resumes, they might type in a sentence or two or a bullet or two, and that's it. I've always gone with the notion, and I built a reputation on providing a better synopsis and a better deliverable experience to the hiring manager by providing as much information on what makes that candidate a good candidate for that particular position. You're marketing your candidate. Allow ChatGPT to market your candidate for you by creating a submittal to your hiring manager. So let's move on to the 7th prompt, the theme that you're going to go ahead and ask ChatGPT to do. Now, this one's a little bit of a sidebar here. A lot of times as recruiters, we find ourselves in situations where we're having a hard time finding the right candidates, or maybe we're starting an initial sourcing project. We're trying to develop a pipeline. We're still trying to understand the requirements that the manager gave us. And so we may just need a sampling of resumes to go ahead and send to that hiring manager just to make sure you're on the same path and on the same page when it comes to that. And so what you can ask ChatGPT to do is to create candidate profile examples. And so really what you're trying to do here is you're trying to build a persona profile on your candidate, which is essentially an avatar in sales. By creating an avatar, a persona candidate profile, you can start really conceptualizing really the ideal candidate for this position. And so by doing so, once you do that, that's going to help you out as you go ahead and start doing your searches. So for example, once you have a candidate profile, a persona that's developed based on the job description, or maybe based on some of the resumes or LinkedIn profiles that you've identified, ChatGPT can create a persona profile, candidate profile for you. And by doing that, that will prompt you as a recruiter to go ahead and provide a sample of resumes, of LinkedIn profiles. And it doesn't have to be many, it can be 3 or 5, just to demonstrate, to show to the hiring manager, hey, I just want to make sure we're on the same page here. Do these profiles that I've identified, do they match up? This is what I have as far as the profile, the ideal candidate, where background that they have, type of schooling that they go to, types of certifications that they might have, whatever it might be. And then these are kind of the candidate profiles that I've been able to come up with. ChatGPT can help you developing these candidate profiles so that you can demonstrate and show to your hiring manager a sampling size of the talent pool that you're targeting. Okay, so the 8th theme prompt that you're going to ask ChatGPT to do for you as we continue to go through this workflow is you're going to ask ChatGPT to create recruiting screening questions. That's right. These are the pre-screen questions that you at least want to have and engage with your candidate. So when you get the candidate on the phone, this is a pretty simple one. What are going to be some of the questions that you can use to qualify? Now, typically as a recruiter, you should be categorizing some of these questions. Sometimes it's going to be pretty basic screening questions, the particulars that you're going to ask, like salary, commuting preference, things of that nature, making sure they have certifications. But you want to include a few questions in there that relates to the relevancy of the job requirement and the description. And you want to ask ChatGPT to be able to provide the answers or the possible answer scenarios that they would rank as optimal. You can ask ChatGPT to do this. So it gives you kind of a key log, a key legend, if you will, that you can follow. So if you prompt it to say, hey, I want to make sure we come up with 3 to 5 questions that are job description related. They can be technical, non-technical, whatever it might be. And then give me like 3 provide answers that would be optimal to least optimal, that could give you a guideline, a structure that you can leverage when you're talking to candidates. So even in this instance, again, I'm giving you these theme prompts that you can leverage. But as you tinker with it and you continue to build these prompts and ask follow-up questions, you can actually create some nice structure in there. Now, what that structure will do is it'll provide you, some framework here as far as content goes. But again, at the end of the day, ChatGPT is an advisor. You look at it as almost a think tank partner, and that's typically what I'll do, because a lot of times I'll get some suggestive things, and some things just don't work out. ChatGPT doesn't spit out gold all the time. Believe it or not, I think it's probably maybe 25% of the time you get some gold nuggets in there. So most of the time I'm taking some of the concepts that ChatGPT may have and I'm making them my own, or maybe it prompts me, my creativity, to add another layer to it. So you're working together with ChatGPT to kind of structure the framework, the screening questions, the experience that you want to give to your candidates. And you can do this by leveraging ChatGPT to help you create these pre-screen questions when you talk to your candidates. Okay, so we're almost there. The 9th theme prompt that you want to use is going to be all about target market research. Okay, so there are some tools out there that organizations, companies pay a lot of money, tens of thousands of dollars, just to have access to talent market research and data that's out there. Now, ChatGPT is limited on how much data is out there, especially as far as how current some of that data is. But you can still get a baseline. And so really all you want to do, you want to prompt ChatGPT just again to understand what does the market look like when it comes to the talent community that you are targeting. And so a couple simple things. What is the supply and demand data show me for a metro region that you're recruiting for? And again, just using a real case scenario here, you can say, for example, if you're looking for a cyber engineer and you're located in the Washington, D.C. market, you can ask, what is the supply and the demand? How many job postings are there right now currently in that marketplace? And not only that, what companies can I target? Where are these companies that are hiring this type of talent? Now, again, ChatGPT is not going to give you the holy grail, but it'll give you at least some framework, some structure that will now entice you to go ahead and take some of these pieces of information and data points that they've prompted you, and you might have to go to an Indeed, or you might have to go to a LinkedIn and type in keyword searches to see how many job postings are out there. But what you're doing is it's giving you market data that now you have a good pulse on the marketplace. And having a good pulse on the marketplace as a recruiter is essential to your reputation, because this is the kind of stuff that you can go back to your hiring manager and you can talk about the level of difficulty based on the labor market, or the high demand for these types of people, or what is the salary structure. So go ahead and play around with this. This one might require a little bit more fine tuning when it comes to ChatGPT, because it's not going to give you all of the information that you're looking for. It does not replace some of these third-party vendor tools that are out there that companies pay $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year just to have access to. But if you don't have that kind of budget and you want to provide some education to your hiring managers, you want a good pulse in the marketplace, leveraging and prompting these themes with ChatGPT can be extremely helpful for you. Okay, the 10th theme prompt that you're going to want to leverage, and I've taken you all the way from the beginning, job description, walked you through this workflow, all these themes and all these prompts, and we finally come to the end here, and it's about really prompting ChatGPT to develop a social media campaign for you. So if you're not leveraging social media, your company doesn't have it, but yet you want to promote your position, your opportunity to the talent community that you're targeting, you're going to want to prompt ChatGPT to give you some basic themes, some campaigns that you can leverage. This kind of ties a little bit in with the e-marketing workflow that I mentioned earlier, but it's going to be very specific to social media. And you can include things like what kind of photography, what kind of elements, visual, graphic elements can I use? What about the branding and the coloring scheme? Now, ChatGPT 4.0 is going to add a lot of that visual features into that version. So I'm excited to kind of play around with that one to see how it's going to be able to develop and maybe potentially draft some potential campaigns for me. But what this does is it really just helps you initiate a campaign theme that you might be able to use. Maybe all you want to do is 3 or 5 postings that you want to promote to your target audience. And it's as simple as going ahead and creating that and then using the different marketing tools, social media tools that are out there to go ahead and develop your campaign themes. A lot of recruiters don't ever get to this point, don't really leverage social media, but you can also, there's a lot of recruiters that leverage marketing flyers. They still use PDF flyers as a way to promote, add an attachment. There's all really kinds of cool ways that you can still develop social media themes and incorporate them into your texting, incorporate them into your emails, your marketing messages, or just by posting on some of the social media platforms that are out there. But definitely encourage you to play around with this prompt ChatGPT, and you'd be surprised what kind of themes that they can develop and what kind of campaigns they can develop for your career opportunities that you're trying to promote. Well, there you have it. Recruiting with ChatGPT, the 10 themes and prompts that you were able to use. These are advanced prompts and workflows that you can apply into your recruiting workday. I provided you the framework, and now from here, what you can do is refine it. It's all about repetition so that you can duplicate it and scale it. You want to be able to apply this framework to the next one. Now, the secret sauce behind all of this is that you want to be able to duplicate it, but ChatGPT can actually do some really amazing things once you have the framework built for you. And I want you to take advantage of an online course that I offer. It's called the Recruiting ChatGPT Playbook. It's a 1.5 hour course, 90-minute course that you're going to be able to go through everything that I walked you through. And more importantly, you're going to be able to take that framework and apply it and multiply it in a lot of different ways. So it's really some amazing, fascinating stuff. I also offer a monthly webinar that you can take advantage of, real life webinar here so that we can go through it. It's all about the Recruiting ChatGPT Playbook. So at this point, you should be using ChatGPT as kind of like your go-to. If you're not quite there, it should be over Google search, I think. But if you're not quite there, just create the scenario here where you put it on your app, your iPhone, you have the app on there, it's accessible, and you're more aware, more mindful about it. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment on this episode. I think this is a really impactful episode and one that you can really start applying some of these techniques. And remember, until next time, it's all about the recruiting mindset.